What's going on, guys? We're back at it. Back at it. We got another one. Got this Toyota Camry. Here's this bad boy. Oh wait, Toyota Camry, and we're gonna replace our struts. 2 front struts, complete assembly. We are gonna replace our battery terminal because there's a crack right here, and it all moves. And it's pretty rusty under here, so I'm gonna clean it up real good. Here's our part number for our battery terminal. Then we just looked. You gotta look around, guys, for stuff that doesn't look right. So all this is covered in oil. It's coming out of the valve cover here, so we're gonna replace our valve cover gasket. It's part number. And then I kept looking, and I noticed these lines. These lines always leak. You guys gotta really look. Those clamps, even though they're pretty good clamps, eventually they loosen up. Well, I guess I think the clamp that loosens up is more the hose gets old and it just keeps getting compacted, and then it loses pressure. The clamp isn't strong enough to clamp it down, so we're gonna just replace that clamp. Mounts look good. We're also gonna replace the sway bar links, so I got the complete assembly struts and the sway bar links. Got them off of I think one Auto. So, and then one last thing we found with this car, the trunk doesn't close. They just kept slamming it shut, slamming it shut. You just gotta look, guys, look. What does that tell me? That tells me that this thing is smacking into this. And then when you look under here, this rubber piece isn't even in the right spot. Look at that, it just came off. So, we're gonna run it the right way, and then the trunk should close perfect. That's all we're doing on this Toyota Camry, guys. Start with the struts. Let's take off the tires. First we jack it up, take off the wheels, and then we'll assess the situation. We'll get our tools ready. Alright, it's 12:30 right now. I want to have this done by 2 o'clock, 3 at the latest. Everything. Struts, sway bar links, valve cover, the battery, the hose. We're gonna knock it all out. Alright, let's get the... Guys, we got the wheels off, we're ready to go. Let me show you where I jack mine up. I'm doing both wheels at the same time, so I jack it up right from that subframe right there. It's a little dangerous, so be careful. Make sure you put your jack stands, and I put the wheels just to give me more protection in case it does fall, which we don't want that to happen, but that's how I jack it up. Alright, guys, check it out. This one was the one that looked like it had just been replaced, but the boot's torn and it makes a sound when you're driving. But we'll start off with this. Here's your brake line. It's a 12mm. Your sway bar links, 17mm. Your strut bolts are 24mm each side. So now we got this brake line, we can loosen this bracket. Looks like it's zip tied on. There we go. Okay, now that we got that bracket out of the way, what you do is you come in here with your 24. This is a short breaker bar. I'm gonna put that right there, so that when I come this way, this one is gonna sit on this side, and when I break this one, it's gonna turn the whole bolt, and this breaker bar is gonna come this way and hit the subframe, and that should be enough to keep it from spinning. I'm gonna take my other breaker bar, other 24, and I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna adjust it so that I have a good angle like that, and I'm just gonna crank down. Once you break the nuts loose like that, if you have an impact, it's easier to get them out with an impact. If not, you're just gonna have to muscle them with the bigger ratchet, a 1/2-inch ratchet. But all right, so 17 for the sway bars. Again, if you can't get them out, and if you get them to spin, I would just cut them. Don't even waste your time. I'm hoping since I'm using the impact, they're gonna come out okay. And since they're both facing forward, it's gonna be a lot easier than the ones that face opposite direction. Then when you come up to the top here, the nuts for the strut up here are 14. Never take this under one off, just these 3. And then it's all gonna drop this way. I'm gonna put a new one, get our nuts going up here, and then we'll line it up, drop the hub in place, and bolt everything back up. I am gonna use a bungee. I'm gonna use this bungee to kind of hold my hub in place because I don't want the axle to pop out of place. The bearings inside, I don't want it to pop out of place, so I'm gonna just hang it so it stays in this area, or else it's gonna drop forward. And I don't want that. Or you can put something underneath here to just hold it in place. But that's it, guys. Let's get to it. We're gonna break these nuts loose, take them out, on our sway bar. Maybe I'll do my sway bar first. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do my sway bar first, and I'm gonna be fighting with the loose strut. So sway bar first, then these two, and the ones up top slide out. But luckily, the sway bar link had something to grab in the back, 17mm. And I was gonna remove the top and the bottom, but I'm taking the strut out. So why waste your time? Just do the bottom one. Alright, just go ahead and crank it out. You need that wrench there so the back ball doesn't spin. Alright, now we can put our setup back on. I turned the wheel a little bit, so I'm gonna straighten it out again. And now we can put our 24mm, and then I'm gonna break those loose to the top, and it should all come out. Alright, so doing the same setup on the bottom. I already broke the one on the top loose, but it's really, really tight. I'm trying to turn this breaker bar so it can hit up against the the subframe, and then it'll lock the bolt in place. And then I could take the nut off. Adjust your socket if you have to. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and nice. Yeah, baby. One more. Adjust your breaker bar. And then I switch over to my ratcheting breaker bar. Keep going until it's loose, but check this out. You want this other breaker bar to come up and make contact right there, and that locks that in place. And you can take these two out. So we got that nut out, got these two loose. We just do these three, and that's it. It's coming out. And I got my bungee, just holding this so it doesn't fall too far. That's it. Alright guys, we got them out. All this holding is that. Oh, the sway bar, I gotta just whack it out somehow. There it is. Just dropped. The hub dropped too, but hopefully it stays together. Alright, let's get this out and swap it. I don't want this hub hanging too long. Alright guys. That's it. That's the old one. Yeah, that's too much. I should have put something underneath. It's hanging too much. I don't like it. But, oh, you see how the knuckle over there? That's when you risk popping it out of place. It should be up like this. So, I'm gonna add something under the control arm. Okay, so I swung up the strut in position, held it. Well, you swing it up, you look up, you find the holes, you line them up, and then you hold this with one hand, and you put a nut in one of these with the other. And then once you do that, you can let it go, come back up and put the other two. Alright, so now we're gonna put the knuckle on. Got my bolt ready, got anti-seize on it, put it through, bolt everything up, put the sway bar link in, and that's it for this. I got the first one through, held up the hub with my knee pad here. Now we can line this one up and put the other one through. Let's prep this bolt. Put them through. We can put it nuts on here. Now we're gonna crank them down just as tight as they're ready to take off. I'm just gonna wing it. Alright. And the side line. Some pressure just pops in. Part number. Alright, just goes in from the back. This one. This two. And I believe is there something in the back to grab too? Yeah. It's probably gonna be like a 17. Oh, this bottom must be stuck. Alright, so I'm gonna put our wrench back there and tighten these up. And then that's it. That'll be it. Double check everything's tight, up top, down low. Put the wheel back on and start on the other side. Alright, this one's done. Everything's bolted on. Now we're gonna do the other side. On this side, I just have to use my band a little bit. Got the toolbox so it won't drop far. But let's repeat the process. Let's get the lower one off, and then loosen these. Get these lines out the way. 3 on top. Swap them. And cut this off. Just pull these tabs. Get this line out. And we have access to get our breaker bars in here. I'm gonna start on this though. So this side I turned the wheel all the way, and I created this. I went from a half to 3/8, back to a half. And I can put my impact. Hopefully this side comes out a little better. Let's see. Gonna hook up to the back. 17. There we are. There we are right there. Let's try. Let's hope. It ain't strong enough, guys. It ain't strong enough. I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna have to break it myself. And let's see. This one doesn't have one. Wah, wah, wah. So either way, baby vice grips. Now let's break it loose. It worked, guys. It worked. Break it bottom there. Let's see if you can see it move. Just hold it straight all the time. Don't ever let your socket go at an angle. That's how you strip your nuts. Alright, guys. I think now the impact will get this out. I don't think it's that weak. Come on. You ain't that weak, are you? It's just spinning. I have to readjust. Alright, guys, this one down here gave me some issues. I was trying to cut it. I didn't dig in too much. This is scratching the paint, but I was trying to cut the nut off because it was just so bad towards the end. It was so rusty that it just got stuck and it wouldn't go anywhere. And even if I used the Allen key, that wouldn't have came out. So, and I didn't have any tools. If I had a baby plumber's wrench, that's it. I would have did it. But luckily I had these little baby pliers. So you got to use what you got, all right? So what I did was I had this Diablo blade. These blades are the best. Only ones I've tried though. But so I went to cut the nut off and I started cutting up against the sway bar here. So what I did instead was I came in from the bottom here and I just cut a slit right through it. See, just like that. I was trying to cut it all the way, but I didn't want to cut into this anymore. So I just cut a slit and then I went in there and I just turned it and it was loose enough that it just came right out. So the sway bar is out. Now we can move on to breaking these nuts off. Look at how rusty they are. How tight do you think these are going to be? These are going to be fun. Alright, let's do those two. The top 3. And then we pull this out, put the new one in, and continue to our valve cover gaskets. And we're going to break our top one. I got it right under the axle. I was lucky enough that I could find the spot to fit, but if not I would have just put it straight down to the ground. And if my breaker bar was too short, I would have just added a pipe and I would extend it and then that would hit the floor. But alright, let's break this. We're going up on this one. Alright, guys, we got it. There it is. That one's loose. Now let's move on to the lower one. See, that one just came out, and I'm gonna keep it in the same spot if I can. Let's see. We're good. And I have to reposition. No. This one can go to the floor. Right there, off the floor. We'll be okay. Pretty close to the brake line. I don't feel comfortable with that. Let's break it out of the way. Guess I'm just gonna have to hold it. Crank on the other side because I don't want to damage that brake line. Alright. Oh, this one's tight. Alright, guys, I need both hands. Alright, guys. Gotta do what you gotta do. Just gotta keep it in place. Back in the position. And it's loose. That's it. I didn't have a pipe to do the pipe trick on the bottom, so and now we can get them out. Do our top 3. It's done. This one. These 2. Don't lose those nuts. You need them. Right. Now I have to take them out. Alright, I need both hands. Let me take them out and get back. Alright, this bottom one's being stubborn, so I kind of have to find that sweet spot. If not, turn it all the way up. There it is. And I'll clean them up. Quick action. Put some anti-seize on them. And then throw the new one on. You just gotta take off. 3 at the time. Wrong one. Look at this. Tight for some reason. The little baby impact wasn't gonna do nothing. Yeah, we gotta work with what we got. That's out, guys. There it is. And they did switch up the sizes. This one's a 15. Don't lose them. Here's how you do this one. You gotta look up, find the hole. I know it's hard. But you find it, feel around. Get at least 2 on there. You can let it go. I'm gonna turn these up. Oh yeah, they're a different size. They switched. With the breaker bar now. So it's rusty out here. Alright. Line it up. You can turn the strut. Very challenging part, finding the hole. Let's see if I find a decent. Oh man, I dropped it. There's one. Alright guys. Hey guys. I got the sway bars in there. I finally found my 18! Yes! It was 18 to hook it to the back on these new ones. So, I'm not letting it go down on the caliper here, but if I wanted to, I guess I could. Doing the top one, switch over to this big bar. I'm gonna hit it the last couple times, and then I'm gonna do the bottom, and then we should be done with this end. Alright guys, got everything done. Tighten that up. This one could not get it to fit, so I just clamped it to the back of the lid bracket. It's perfectly fine, it ain't going nowhere. It's just the wire. Hey guys, the wheel's on. I'll double check this one is here. Just tighten it up. I don't know the torque specs, but you can feel when you're there. Alright guys, that's it. Did the struts, the sway bar links. I took the cover off the valve cover. I'm gonna do the gasket right now.